Hello again and welcome to another Mordian Mondays. This is episode 76 and I've had quite a productive and busy week this week. So on the painting front we're going to be a little bit organised. Apologies that this video is going a little bit late. I'm actually recording it on the Monday. Normally I would record all my videos on the weekend and try and upload them throughout the week at the appropriate time and schedule them, but unfortunately real life got in the way. That damn real life getting in the way as always. So apologies, this video is being done late, but all the other videos this week will be up at the appropriate and correct time. So there we go. It all sounds very formal, doesn't it? So I'm going to organise this Mordian Mondays and we're going to go through the painting stuff that I've done first and some tactics around what I've painted, and then we're going to go through an update for the YouTube studio, the upcoming Battle Bunker. I'm very excited for it. So what have I been working on this week? Well, I've got all my models out. I'm sure we all love this. Get your models, get your little toy soldiers out, arrange them into squads, put them on parade formation. You know, I'm a Mordian. My guys love being on parade. So I got all my guys out and I realised that I have lots of infantry. I've got 340 models painted up. Infantry, I got covered. But I don't, and I have lots of special weapons. And I have lots of sergeants and lots of officers. But what I don't have is a lot of heavy weapons. In fact, out of all the infantry that I've painted up, I've only painted out of the 21 infantry squads that I've got painted up, I only have 12 heavy weapons. And 3 of them I painted at the very beginning of the project. I've just painted a lot of 10-man infantry squads with 1 sergeant, 1 special weapon, and then a bunch of riflemen, because I've had this in my head that, oh, I might be taking conscripts, so I need to be taking more riflemen. So I've had this in my head, but I've realised I've actually got a severe lack of heavy weapons. And in fact, for a lot of my first games of 9th edition, when I was able to play, I was going into battle with 3 heavy weapons. And the rest of it was guardsmen and plasma. That was it. And hell, I was still winning games. But I definitely feel like I need some long-range fire support. Big motivator for this is I've been keeping a close eye on the meta. I've been absorbing so much content. And I am seeing Drukhari on my horizon. My brother has a very extensive Drukhari army. It is witches as well, which we all know are super strong. It's raiders. He liked the look of it, so he's got raiders. So he's not even having to switch from Venom's raiders. He's got them. So he's in a really strong position. And it's jet bikes, and I think it's just all the stuff that's really good now. He's got like 3 succubuses. He's got everything that he needs to be super powerful. And so I can see Drukhari on my horizon, and I've been reading up on how the hell do you beat Drukhari, and a lot of people have said, look, you've got to neuter those transports. You've got to try and be able to absorb that first charge. If you can absorb the first charge, you'll probably be okay. But if you can't, and you can't get rid of those cheap transports, you are going to be having a bad time. So I thought, right, how do I neuter cheap transports if my longest range weapon is like a 24-inch range plasma gun? I need more heavy weapons. So I had some classic Mordian metal heavy weapons painted up, stripped but ready to be painted. So I did those this week, and I got 2 autocannons, which are the ones, for those of you that haven't seen these old models before, the autocannons are the ones with the magazines on top, like really, really cool old style autocannons. So those are the ones that are on the left in this picture. And then I've got 2 las cannons painted up as well. Now I know some of you are thinking, las cannons, autocannons, aren't all these things a bit not very good? And yes and no. Las cannons are good because las cannons are good. They're expensive, but they are good. And they're simply good because they hit hard. Yes, they're random damage, but you're always going to be wounding something on a 3. Even if you're shooting a knight, you're wounding it on a 3. Okay, you've got a really good strength. And you're pretty much always going to force someone onto their invulnerable save. Games Workshop's been doing a lot of capping of invuns around 4+, unless you know you're custodies. But a lot of the time, you're going to smash one straight onto their invuln, which is fine. It's a lot. Those people that tell you how do you kill Terminators, drown them in lasgun bolts, haven't tried that tactic and had it fail, where you've unloaded 300 guardsmen into a Deathwing Terminator army. This wasn't even in 9th edition. This is when they only had 1 wound each, guys. And unloaded into a Deathwing Terminator army and done nothing because your opponent simply kept making 2+ saves. It happens. The way you know what's better than trying to make someone fail their save, which is relying on them. You're relying on them having bad luck. Don't do that. Just make it harder for them to pass those saves. And the way you do that, las cannons. Same principle with plasma. Same principle. You just slap them straight onto their ass, put them straight onto their invuln save. It makes them much harder. It's much harder to pass a 4-up invuln than it is to pass a 2-up armor save. It's obvious, but it is. So that's why I've taken las cannons. Also, with autocannons, against most targets, you're better taking heavy bolter. You are. And I might be speaking out my ass here, guys, but I've always had great success with shooting autocannons at Dark Elder. I think this is literally the one niche that autocannons are born to fulfill, because now that Dark Elder vehicles like the Raider, which is now the most popular transport for Dark Elder, of course it is, Games Workshop has sold enough Venom kits, they need to sell some Raider kits now, has gone up from toughness 5 to toughness 6, which means your heavy bolter has gone from wounding it on 4s to wounding it on 5s. Your autocannon, however, has remained wounding it on 3s. So the autocannon has received no nerf. The heavy bolter has received a shadow nerf. It's an inadvertent nerf changing of the meta. If we're going to be seeing a lot of raiders everywhere, I want to be packing a lot of autocannons. Even with the heavy bolter being the extra shot and with being the 2 damage now and equal to the autocannon, I just like wounding things on 3s because, again, I'm making my life easier. I'm not, oh, I've got to try and fish for 5s. No, I'm going to wound on 3s. It just makes my life a lot easier. So that's why I like those guys. Like I said, I haven't done the math hammer on this, guys. Just off the cuff Mordian Mondays, and we don't get too into it, too deep into it in these videos. But yeah, so that's why I've taken autocannons and lance cannons. Now, the other thing is what weapons that we've seen previewed recently that are getting buffs. Cognis autocannons, Cognis lance cannons. Now, we don't know if those weapons are going to get, those buffs to AdMech are going to transfer over to Guard. We don't know that yet. But they very well may do. You know, Cognis traditionally has always meant assault, maneuverability. And so if we're seeing buffs to las cannons and autocannons, I would like to be able to hit the ground running. You know, we've got a month until we essentially come out of lockdown in the UK where I can play games with one person inside. In 2 months, we should be back to normal, fingers crossed. You know, there might be a bit of back and forth, but, you know, 2 months, we should be back to normal. Soon, we're going to be playing tournaments again. And I want to be prepared. I believe the next 3 codexes are going to be Orcs, they're going to be Sisters, and they're going to be Adeptus Mechanicus. But we don't know what's coming after that. And it could be Gene Stealer Cult, it could be anything. But we definitely know that those will be coming out next. And if, like when Marines got their drop and everyone got better heavy bolters afterwards, AdMech could get their drop and everyone gets better autocannons and lance cannons afterwards via, you know, FAQs and PDFs and online stuff. So I want to be ready to hit the ground running. And so that's why I've got these. And to be fair, they were easy, you know, they were already stripped down, they were easy to paint up, and also, you know, like I said, just gives me some much needed firepower. In 1 week I have gone from 9, not 12, 9, because 3 of the autocannons I use as a heavy weapon squad. So I've gone from 9 infantry squads with heavy weapons to now I've gone to 13 infantry squads with heavy weapons. I've literally had a massive increase. So there we go. Probably I can't do the percentage off the top of my head, guys, I'll be honest with you. So that's what I've been painting on now. In terms of what's coming next, I've also got, I haven't taken pictures of these because they're unpainted, but I had a big week on the building front. I know last week I said I wasn't going to buy any more models, but I ended up having a big sit down, a big think, and being like, do I want to take my metal Mordians to tournaments? And the answer was an emphatic no. Okay, when I was getting all the models out, even when they'd just been in storage, even when I just used them for the occasional game, I haven't even had a chance to use them this year. Some of the metal Mordians were just, I think it was two had very slight paint chips on them, and I just thought this is just from them barely being used. So I have definitely made the decision that I need to have a full army of converted plastic models for when I go to events. Now it's a shame because means I won't be able to show off the beautifully painted classic metal models at events, or, well, the intention is not to, but it does mean that the pride and joy of my army, my essentially full company of metal Mordians, will be safe, and the best bit is they're going to be the ones that are used in the battle reports. So my plastic models will be the ones that go out on campaign, the ones that go to the events and whatnot, because I can pick those up by handful. The paint doesn't chip on plastic models at all. It's really, really easy to deal with. And when I go to when I play on the channel, and when you guys get to see the battle reports, you will get to see 180 plus perfectly restored metal Mordian Iron Guard. That's what the end goal will be for both armies. So it's it doesn't mean the metal Mordians aren't going to get used, which is good. It just means metal Mordians get used in battle reports, and plastic Mordians get used at tournaments. And it just, means I get to use all my models and gives me an excuse to buy some more models, which is what I did. So when my local Games Workshop opened up, I went down there and I bought myself a couple of boxes of Neophyte hybrids. I know, heresy, absolute heresy, but I could have bought 2 boxes of Cadians and it would have cost me £22.50 per box, or I could have gone and bought 2 boxes of Neophyte hybrids and get the heavy weapon teams that I've just said I need more heavy weapon teams, and get the heavy weapon teams that I need for an extra £2.50. And I got a Gene Stealer Cult sprue, which I didn't use, but I will use for my Gene Stealer Cultists when I pick that project up again. I mean, that army's pretty much done, but I'm thinking of expanding it at some point. The insurrection will rise. So yeah, so there you go. What I did with those models, I ordered also my bits from Anvil Industry that I wanted ordered, and I've scraping the bottom of the barrel on the Patreon now, but so I should be doing that in the battle bunker. But my Anvil Industry bits arrived as well, which meant after I had got my heavy weapons painted, I had a big sit down and building session and base coating session, and I was able to get an additional 6 heavy bolters together and a boatload of riflemen. I've got 15 riflemen, an additional 2 Vox casters, and an additional 4 las pistol chainsaw sergeants, because another thing that I have in my army is lots of sergeants with power swords. But I've done multiple videos on this. You don't want to be giving, unless you're playing a fun game or a semi-competitive game, you don't want to be really giving your sergeant, or you're building a specific build around it, you don't really want to be building your sergeants with power swords, because they're 5 points, and now guards have gone up by 5 points. It's difficult to swallow that cost. So now the best way to use your sergeants is basically las pistol and chainsaw, keep them cheap. Even if you're going disciplined shooters, paying 2 points for each one of those bolters in a pure infantry army does add up, again, especially now that guardsmen have gone up by 5 points per squad. So I need more las pistol chainsaw sergeants, so that's what I've got. So I think pretty much I have all of the plastic models that I will need. I may need to buy a few more bits from Anvil Industries to get extra usage out of the bits on my heavy weapon team sprues, but it's not much. And it may not. It depends if I'm able to get some of my plastic autocannons restored. Depends if they fall apart too quickly. I'm on the clock now because the tournament's around the corner, or I may need to get maybe a few las pistol chainsaw sergeants. I may need to build a few more of them, but I'll probably see what I've got left. I've only got about 20 plastic Cadian riflemen, if that, left in the restoration project. It might even be like 10 or 15. It's nothing. It's next to nothing. But I might be able to convert some of those up into sergeants, give some of those guys promotions. Yeah, so there we go. That's the painting side of things. Went on a bit longer than expected. Now, that's the painting side of things. Now let's move on to the battle bunker side of things. So that's all the painting and building, but some really good news, guys. If you were following me on Instagram, I know I've started using Instagram. I've been all modern and all that kind of stuff. Practically like the Tau using modern technology. Jesus Christ, the Inquisition's going to have to come around and, kill me. But speaking of Inquisition, my propaganda posters turned up for the battle bunker. So these 3 propaganda posters are going to be hung on the wall. You'll be able to see them in the background when we are playing games. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I got these, in case anyone is wondering, I got these from Redbubble, and I literally just Googled, Warhammer posters, and they came up. So they're really easy to find. If I can, I'll put a link down, but it's to a specific shop where I got them from, so if I can find it, I'll put them down. But there was so many different options. I don't want to just link them to this one shop, because this one shop had the ones that I wanted, but there were so many other posters from so many other sellers. So honestly, just go on Redbubble. You know what? Just go on Redbubble and search them. You'll find them. Now these, even though these were in the Americas, I say Americas, in the United States of America, if you're in the UK or Europe, don't worry. I got these shipped over. I got these 3 posters. Now, they weren't in the frames. They were just the paper posters. I got them shipped over for, I think it was £5. It was not a lot of money for international shipping. It was absolutely fine. Now, I got the frames in the UK. And I can't remember where I got them from. But again, I just Googled frames UK for sale. And it came up. And each frame was, I think with shipping, each frame was £20 in total. So it's £60 for everything, including shipping. I don't know if that's expensive or not. I'm not a frames expert. You guys can let me know down in the comment section if I got ripped off. But they were so easy. It was so easy putting the posts in the frames. And they fit and had the right size and everything. And it's just really good. So I'm really excited about that. They're going to be so cool. It's another layer. This is what I was talking about, where it's going to be part studio, part battle bunker. Absolutely love it. So I got the Inquisition symbol because I just thought, I wasn't sure about the one. I thought it might be a bit too simplistic, but it actually turns out to be my favourite. Well, second favourite apart from the middle one. Now the middle one, obviously, it you know, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. That is not Warhammer 40k. That is 1984, but it's so Warhammer 40k. It's so grimdark, isn't it? So, yeah, I just thought that was so... Imagine living on a hive world. You're going to see posters like that all over the place, aren't you? And then the last one is absolutely fantastic. I Want You for the Imperial Guard. Classic poster. Take on the World War I British poster from Kitchener's Army. Absolutely fantastic. I just had to have it. So I've got these 3 posters now. They're going on the wall. And now, the last bit that I need to do to get the studio 100, well, not 100% up and running, but get the studio 90% and totally and utterly usable is the IKEA bookcase / display cabinets. And they have been ordered and they are expected to turn up at the end of this month. And the UK lockdown, I believe, ends middle of May, so I should have time to build them. And then once they've arrived and I built them, it's good to go. The studio's good to go. What I'd want after that is I need some light, a little bit of additional lighting in the display cabinets, a little bit of additional lighting for the flag, because I've hung the flag up on the wall, and if you want to see what the flag looked like, go and check it out on the Instagram because it looks incredible. But yeah, that's everything for... That's everything. That's all the updates. That's everything. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Mordian Mondays. It's had a bit of everything. It's a bit of painting, a bit of building, a bit of tactical insight, a bit of meta-analysis, a bit of predictions and getting all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been really good. And hopefully you've seen and enjoyed the ongoing updates with the battle bunker. But yeah, it should be really, really good. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.